And we're ready whenever you are, Mayor.
Good evening, and thank you for attending tonight's City Council meeting. For those who are attending remotely, the camera in council chambers is set up to show those attending in person tonight. The platform we are using has a raised hand feature. You will notice a picture of a hand in the upper right-hand corner. When we reach the point in the meeting where the public has the opportunity to address council, you can click that button, given your opportunity to address council. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Skelly,
Here.
Councilor Dillabaugh, Councilor Fisher.
Here.
Councilor Kennedy,
Here.
Councilor Powers, Councilor Reish.
Here.
Councilor Scamperly, quorum present.
We do not have any presentations tonight. We do not have any proclamations this evening. We do not have any public hearings. So this brings us to personal appearance. This time, anyone in person who'd like to address council, please come down to the podium. You have 5 minutes.
Hello, I'll be quicker than 5 minutes. I just need to find the pictures that I have here. Okay. First of all, shout out to all the families, students, teachers, staff, and administrations, those folks getting ready to go back for the upcoming school year. This should only take me a few minutes since it should only be a refresher for all of you, at least all who have at least one semester of college under your belt. For those without any college course experience, I'll gladly send detailed information at your request. I just wanted to refresh about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's pretty much taught in just about every program 101 in college. Abraham Maslow wrote this in 1943. There are 5 stages of human needs, and it's been one of the most cognitively contagious ideas in the behavioral sciences. And I know nursing students learn this, med students learn this, psychology students learn this, and then in the vocations, they're also taught this because it's very, very basic. Maslow's hierarchy of needs starts at it's a triangle, and the base of the triangle is the need for air, food, water, and health. Pretty basic. Next is the need for safety, shelter, stability. Pretty basic. Those are the bases of the 5 hierarchy of needs. They can also be applied to business. So if anybody wants to know the other 3, I'm happy to go over those. But they can also be applied to business. And so the base would be good, safe work environment and the right tools to do the job. And then next up would be treated with respect, support for risk-taking, opportunity to offer input and be heard. I strongly suggest that you folks keep that in mind as you go forward, whatever decisions that you make, whoever you're talking to, that you really keep those things in mind. They are very basic in psychology and behavioral sciences. And if anybody would like any more details, I would be very happy to share them. Thank you.
Anyone else?
First of all, I'd just like to thank council for naming the Horseshoe Pits after Zeke Montroy. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Madeline who put the program together, Kathy Jack who did an excellent program. I'd like to thank Councilor Reish for showing up. Also Councilor Scamperly, Councilor Powers called. They were both out of town. I appreciate them calling, and the family also appreciated that. The last couple meetings, I brought up the question. Now we're down to 4 months. Haven't heard of a plan yet, what we're going to do for the city manager's position. The word on the street is there's a deal being struck here. for that position. You guys sit here, you pontificate, let's get it out to the public, let the public know. Because I think the public's gonna be awful surprised to see the deal coming down here for that position. Thank you.
Is there anyone remotely?
I do not see any hands raised.
And that brings us to correspondence. Do we have one?
We do not.
We have our consent agenda, claims enumerated, in general fund warrant number 14-2022, in the amount of $641,625.09. Library warrant number 14-2022, the amount of $0. Capital fund warrant number 14-2022, the amount of $87,197.50. Community development warrant 14-2022, amount of $1,801.94. And community renewal warrant 14-2022, amount of $0. As audited, be and stand hereby are ordered paid. So moved.
I'll second it.
Second. Please call the roll.
Mayor Skelly?
Yes.
Counselor Fisher?
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Reish?
Yes.
Approved. Mayor, if I may interrupt you, I received a message from the city manager. He just asked that everyone speak closer to the mics, if you could, please. Thank you.
We do not have any appointments tonight. Our first item of business will be read by Director of Planning and Development, Mr. Smith.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is a resolution to approve the sale of surplus property following the August 2nd surplus property auction. Whereas the city of Ogdensburg has acquired the following parcels in accordance with property tax sale foreclosure proceedings, and whereas city staff have reviewed the parcels and find no conflict with the proposed sale, having no infrastructure or known easements of public benefit, and whereas said parcels have been declared surplus by City Council on July 11th, 2022, and whereas all property sold by the city of Ogdensburg is as is and where is by quitclaim deed. The city makes no warranty as to clear title or condition. And whereas all property within the city of Ogdensburg is subject to the provisions and enforcement of Chapter 97, Section 13, property maintenance. And whereas sale of surplus property promotes the return of underutilized property to the taxable roll for the greater public benefit in keeping with comprehensive planning goals. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council approves the following sales. Tax map number 48.065-2-4, located at 426 Champlain Street. It's a non-conforming parcel located in the city's moderate density residential zoning district, measuring 34 by 120. The minimum bid established by council was $500. The sale price was $500 to Mr. Charles and Amber Langley. Tax map number 58.023-6-18. It's located at 930 Franklin Street. This is a non-conforming parcel in the city's moderate density residential zoning district, measuring 28 by 161. The minimum bid was $6,500. The sale price was $6,500, and the buyer is Andrew C. LaFleur. Be it further resolved that listed buyers are financially responsible for all applicable St. Lawrence County filing fees, and be it further resolved that the sale of city-owned real property shall be subject to review and approval by the city attorney.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Kathy, could you please call the roll?
Mayor Skelly?
Yes.
Counselor Fisher?
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Reish?
Yes.
Approved.
Our next item of business will also be read by Andrea Smith.
Can I, do you mind? I just had a question on the last one, if I could. Were there other properties that were advertised?
Yep, we held an auction on 15 properties. Those were just the only 2 that were sold.
So what's our strategy on the other 13?
We're reviewing that and we hope to bring you actionable items at the August 22nd meeting. This is a resolution calling for public notice and public hearing on the city's proposed Restore New York application. Whereas the city of Ogdensburg desires to submit an application to Empire State Development Corporation, ESD, for Restore New York funding. And whereas in accordance with grant submission guidelines, the city shall hold a public hearing to discuss the proposed application or applications and the required property assessment list. Whereas the property assessment list shall be published in the official city newspaper for 3 consecutive days prior to this public hearing in accordance with grant guidelines. Now therefore be it resolved that the Ogdensburg City Council shall hold a public hearing on the proposed grant application or applications and the property assessment list to be held in City Council Chambers, City Hall, 330 4th Street, Ogdensburg, New York, on Monday, the 22nd day of August, 2022 at 6 p.m. And be it further resolved that the city clerk give notice of such public hearing by publication in the official newspaper at least 7 days before the hearing date of a notice setting forth the time and place and describing the proposed ordinance in summary form.
I'll move that.
Second. Could you just detail the properties?
There are 2 properties for consideration. The 2 properties are 30 Main Street, which is as everybody knows, is the cheese plant. It actually is composed of 5 individual tax map parcels, referred to commonly as 30 Main Street. We're looking at demolition and site improvements under the Restore New York grant. And the second property for consideration is 1223 Pickering Street, which is presently owned by the Ogdensburg Volunteer Rescue Squad. There is a proposal from Mr. Rob Noble to purchase the property from the rescue squad and convert the former retail space back into a retail space. And that is an eligible application under Restore New York. So both of those are being considered and we would accept public comments on both of those. And the city has the ability to submit one special project for up to $2 million, or excuse me, one standard project, which is up to $2 million, and one special project, which is up to $10 million. We can submit up to 2 applications, one in either category, or just one application in either category.
So what are we thinking about doing then? Are we applying for 1 grant or 2, or are we?
We will accept public comments, and then you all as a council will be presented with more formal detailed descriptions at your first September meeting, and these applications are due in October.
Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Counselor Fisher,
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy,
Yes.
Counselor Reish,
Yes.
Mayor Skelly,
Yes.
approved.
This brings us to old business.
Mayor, there's one
No,
more
one more.
resolution.
You got one more.
Oh, yes. Did you read that one, Andrea?
This is a resolution to accept the bid on surplus 1994 E1 HM100 Quint from Jamie Mullen in the amount of $7,100. Whereas the city of Ogdensburg solicited bids on the sale of surplus 1994 E1 HM100 Quint online with Municipid. And whereas Jamie Mullen was the highest bidder with a bid amount of $7,100, now therefore be it resolved that the Ogdensburg City Council hereby accepts the bid from Jamie Mullen in the amount of $7,100 for the purchase of surplus 1994 E1 HM100 Quint.
I'll move that.
A second. Is there any any feedback on the price?
I believe the
No,
city
that-
manager will respond.
Yeah, there were several other bids. That was the highest that it ultimately got to. We also asked the St. Lawrence County Emergency Services Director to send this around to every fire department in the county and the surrounding counties. Quite frankly, had a fire department, a rural fire department, or someone come to us and wanted this, I'd have recommended council just to give it away. We didn't get any inquiries from any of that either. So I recommend we just move this along. It won't get any better sitting outside for the winter. It's a 30-year-old fire truck, doesn't have a lot of value. There's lots of grant money floating around out there for the purchase of new trucks or newer used ones. So I think this is as likely as good as it gets.
Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Counselor Kennedy,
No.
Counselor Reed,
Yes.
Mayor Skelly,
Yes.
Counselor Fisher,
Yes.
denied.
And this brings us to old business. Does anyone have any old business?
Mayor?
Yeah.
I could jump in here, so I don't, if Counselor Kennedy or could tell me what she's looking for us to do. I don't know what the reason is you'd want to hang on to this truck. What would you like me to do with it?
Just based on some conversations I've had, I mean, I don't see why it's not something that, we couldn't utilize if needed. And second of all, I just feel like that's a really low number.
All right, well, I'll just reiterate and we can have another discussion, but you're having discussions with nobody on the city staff, including the city manager. So I don't know where you're getting your information from. And as far as the number being low, we put it out for bid. We auction things at a lot less value than their perceived value all the time, but it's sitting outside now. It'll sit outside for a winter and become worth less. So
Have we looked at going through a truck broker to get a better price on it?
Yeah.
They sell used fire trucks. Is that something we've looked at?
We did, and this system right here is the one that has garnered the best sales for fire trucks municipally across the board. That's why we did it. It's what the city of Watertown just did after using a couple other ways to look at marketing. They used this system, and this is the money they got. So again, we'll look at some others, but these are the things that bog staff down, going over and over again, doing things that there's really no value in. But we'll keep trying. We've got a boneyard full of stuff like this. We'll add this to it. It cannot be used in service. It's out of service now. It won't be placed back in service. So it's not something we could ever quote use again. It's sitting outside now.
Thank you, Steve. So no, there's no old business. Does anyone have any new business? Now we have some items for discussion. I believe City Manager Steve Kelly has something.
Yeah, Mayor, I can hold this for the next meeting when the entire council's there. We've got a couple opportunities to market the city on a national and international forum. Both have come to us inquiring if the city is interested, but I'll provide council some read ahead information and we can discuss it at the next meeting.
This brings us to citizen participation. Anyone wants to speak now, got 2 minutes.
I spoke of Maslow a little bit ago, but then and I only gave 2 of the base and the next part up of the pyramid. But after Doug came up and spoke, it made me think that perhaps I need to share more. And I will just share the 3rd level. But like I said, if anybody's interested in the others, the 3rd level for Maslow is the need for love, belonging, and inclusion. As far as how it can relate to business, belonging, sense of community, part of something bigger. if there are clandestine conversations that are going on regarding something that's as important as a new city manager, then it doesn't seem to be like something that people should be hearing through the grapevine. I know I've asked for the names of any applicants, or where are we with any postings. I just heard Doug do it. I know I'm not the only one, and I'm sure he's not the only one. So I really feel that, personally, I feel like you owe it to us to have a little more information to us, but also according to this well-regarded behavioral sciences pyramid, it would also indicate the same thing. Thank you.
Is there anyone remotely?
I do not see any hands raised.
There is no longer a need for executive session, so I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Adjourn.
That's right.